the sound?
Yeah.
Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound?
Do you hear it?
Do you hear the sound?
Yeah.
Do you hear the sound?
You hear that?
Do you hear the sound? Do you hear the sound?
Yeah. Do you hear the sound of the rain? Do you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound now? Do you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound now? Do you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound now? Do you hear that sound? Do you hear the sound of the rain?
Hey, what's going on? And welcome to episode number 2 of Sound of the Rain podcast. This is your host, Sound of the Rain, and I want to welcome you back. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And today is going to be kind of an impromptu episode based on my host that I have for my podcast, Buzzsprout. I have a situation where I have extra time that I can use before the end of the day to make a podcast. So I decided, instead of just kind of letting it go to waste, to kind of throw something else out there. So hopefully this will be something that'll be that you enjoy. It's not going to be as prepared as I planned the second episode to be, but just bear with me. And what I want to talk about is my journey as far as content creation and actually, creating anything. The reason I want to talk about this is because I know a lot of people, have a desire to create content and to do things. And, a lot of people that I talk to, they might feel like it's too late. They're too old. They don't have the tools needed. They might be comparing themselves to others. And so it kind of, causes them to kind of fall back and say, know what, nah, I'm good. That's actually the same thing that I've done to myself, and I still continue to do, at times. But, I'm here to tell you that it's not too late. In this day and age, especially with, everything going on with COVID and the pandemic, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to create content, and do things for people to enjoy, to educate them, to listen to, because in this day and age, man, people are looking for like an escape, like a release, like a way out, something to do, when they get off of work, or when they're riding home from work, or picking the kids up from soccer, or stuff like that. Me personally, as far as me doing a podcast, it's a format that I always wanted to do because I love to talk. And I believe that it would be easier than doing YouTube, as far as me not having to worry about, am my camera ready, feeling self-conscious, as far as the way I look. Am I wearing the same shirt I wore last time? All I got to do is hit record and start talking, so it's a little different and remove some of the challenges and obstacles. And then if you want to take it a step further, you might have somebody that feels like they're really good with words. They might not be able to speak as well, or come off as entertaining and as lively. A blog might be something perfect for them. So you got blogs, you got podcasts, you got YouTube. There's tons of things out there. And so what I'm gonna do is just talk to you guys about my journey, what I've experienced, what I'm experiencing, and hopefully it'll help you and it'll encourage you. Bear with me. And if I might have already said this, because this is my second time trying to record this. I'm cooking dinner and doing this at the same time. But I forgot what I was going to say. So good grief. So something that's fresh on my mind is when I mentioned comparing yourselves to others. I had a situation to where I was working with a local rapper who happens to be a good friend of mine, and it was remote, he had reached out to me, asked me, did I want to, do the song. I agreed. He sent it to me, and so what I did was I sent him, I went ahead and recorded my verse on my computer so he could hear what it sounded like. Now, what I was sending him, I was sending it to him to like, so that he could just get an idea, like, okay, this is how his verse is gonna sound. This wasn't like, this is me mixing and mastering it, put it out, stuff like that. So I had the air conditioner on while I was recording, like it was just like, yo, check this out. So I recorded it, I sent it to him, and he was mentioning the quality of it. And I understood what he was saying. But after that, I found myself going back and listening to his music, even when I had actually got up with him in person and I was listening to his music and the stuff he's got online, and I was just listening to the quality of it. And I was like, dang, man, like, it made me want to just stop doing what I was doing, because I felt like it was so much more superior than what I was doing. And so, I didn't stop. What I kind of accepted and told myself, I was like, you know what? This is what I have, and I'm gonna do the best that I can with it and make it sound the best that it can. And lo and behold, I actually had somebody reach out to me in a Facebook group, and they were talking about how good the quality of my music was. And they were saying how, a lot of the stuff that they hear within the group, the levels are too high or too low. It doesn't sound good. He sounded like pleasantly surprised. Like in his mind, he was expecting when he hit play, it was going to sound bad, but he was like, wow, this actually sounds good. And so what that did for me is it helped me feel like, wow, you know what? I am on the path of doing good and getting better at what I'm doing. Because when I first started, the first song that I ever put out was called The Prelude. And when I did that song, man, when I tell you, it took me forever to like really like just like mix and master. And those that aren't familiar with the terms mixing and mastering, when people go to the studio they record a song, there's different volume levels and there's different sound frequencies and different things, compression and EQing, and panning, volume. I mean, it's like a science to it, and it's actually really cool. But it's back in the day when I was doing music in my group Ground Zero. One of our group members, DOS, he did all the mixing and mastering, and he did a phenomenal job. So all I had to do was worry about writing my rap, recording it, and then I'm done. I might give input on, how it sounds or something like that, but all I could focus more on the artistic part of it. So fast forward, get your shot glasses, fast forward. But no, fast forward to now, I had to do everything. And that was one thing that made me very apprehensive about doing music. That's one thing that took me so long, is because I had to record it, I had to mix it, I had to master it, and I had to put it out, market it, promote it. I mean, it was like a one-man band. And that's not necessarily how I plan on continuing to do things in the future, but at this point in my career, that is what I'm doing. So I learned all that stuff, and I'm getting better at it. Like I said, when that person that reached out to me and was like, yo, your stuff sounds really good, it made me feel a little more confident in what I was doing. But what really helped was, even prior to that, I had accepted that, what I'm doing and how it sounds, this is the best that I have. These are the tools that I have. And I accept that as I proceed and progress, it's going to get better. I'm going to learn more, and I'm going to do better. So when I was doing that song, The Prelude, that first song that I put out, I was doing a lot of research online and YouTube and Google and just reading about mixing and mastering. And a lot of it, I got ADHD. And I'm not saying that to like as a crutch, but it kind of helps, you guys understand my thought process. I'm the type of person, like if you text me or write me, I'm gonna read the first sentence and I'm gonna run with it. You know, like I'm not gonna read depending on who the person is. If I really want to read what you're talking about, and I'm gonna, you know, that's a joke. But, you know, so I mean, when I would be reading these instructions and these manuals on how to mix and master and buying all these books, my learning style is hands-on. So I'd get the book, all I would do was look for what I needed to learn how to do it that very second. Like, so if I need to learn how to pan the volume left and right, and there's like a whole chapter on like volume, I'm skipping straight to the panning part, looking for the sentence, click here, okay, boom. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put the book to the side and keep doing what I need to do. Sitting there reading and retaining it, my brain just don't work like that. So, and I'm very impatient, you know, so that made it a challenge as well. So I work on the prelude, and one of the tips that I had first read or learned when I was mixing and mastering was talking about finding like a reference track, depending on the genre of music you're working on. So what essentially is like, I would take a song and listen to, you know, play it on my computer with my headphones on and listen to it and compare what I'm doing volume wise to that. And so for hip hop, Dr. Dre was recommended as you know, one of the people whose music you could use as kind of as a bar. And so I was listening to it, and so the way that the prelude came out, I was very, very pleased and very, very satisfied with that. In my mind, I was like, you know what, if all my music can sound like this, that's cool with me. You know, because I've also learned a lot of things, like as far as with me recording, I'll have ideas like while I'm recording something. So if I just like went into a studio, recorded it, and then paid somebody to mix it and master it, I might have ideas and stuff later on that I wouldn't be able to implement unless I was actually mixing and mastering it myself. Excuse me. You know, unless I was mixing and mastering it myself. So, you know, that's also a benefit of learning how to do it. And then eventually, like when I was finishing up the prelude, there's never anything that tells you, okay, your song is done. I got to the point where I just got tired of it, and I was like exhausted, and I was like, you know what, man, it sounds good. I just pulled the trigger. And that's something that I'm gonna recommend that you do. Pull the trigger, take that leap, jump. You know, just say, I'm gonna do it, you know, even if it comes out garbage, even if you're recording on your cell phone, you know, a lot of stuff I've done, I did totally 100% with my cell phone. I filmed it with my cell phone. I edited it with my cell phone. I created a thumbnail with my cell phone. I uploaded it to YouTube with my cell phone. You know, it's such a powerful tool, whether you have an Android or an iPhone. You know, there's a lot of applications. There's a lot of free applications, you know, that can point you out to things that you can, you know, use to be productive. So I finished the prelude, and then I moved on to, I probably stopped, and I did a couple more things. I had a poem I did for the New Year's. I think it was like 2016 or 17. I can't remember. Then I did one called How We Roll, and I knew that kind of sounded but I just wanted to get it out. And then I did Lovely, which if I could find the file for that, I would totally like re-record that or redo it. I love that song. But, so, pause. That was 2014, right? I was putting this stuff up on YouTube. I think it was 2014. That was 7 years ago, if I'm correct. I think I at least put the prelude out on YouTube in 2014. So fast forward to now, to where I'm like, okay, I want to start putting stuff out again. So a year ago, I opened my account on DistroKid, who's my digital distributor for my music, and I put out the songs that I had done, the prelude, How We Roll, and Lovely. So all the music that I put out was from 2014 and earlier. You know, no one was getting anything new. I did that because I just wanted to like get my foot in the door. I wanted to say, I can go to my phone and say, hey Siri, play Sound of the Rain, the Prelude, and it is gonna play my song. Like that felt like such an accomplishment. And then others looked at like, whoa man, your music's on Apple. It is, but it's a lot easier to get on there than someone might think, but it just really looks and feels official, you know? So I had those songs on there and I was sitting on them for a while and I hadn't done anything else. A big problem that I had was that those 3 songs that I did, the Prelude, How We Roll, and Lovely, I did the production on those. So the mixing and mastering, it was a little more challenging because not only did I have to mix and master my vocals, but I had to mix and master the tracks for the different instruments and the different loops and stuff like that. So as me trying to get back into music, I kept making excuses, right? My excuse was my computer. My previous computer, I had a MacBook Pro mid 2010, and so it's 2021. So I mean, you already know that thing was old. You know, and I got it from when I went to college online at a Full Sail for music production, which didn't last long because I won't pay for all that. But so my computer was old and it wasn't working well. And so that was my excuse, right? Then I was able to get another computer. So I got another computer. Then I got the computer and I still wasn't doing anything. At that point, then my excuse was time. I didn't have enough time. All right? I kept psyching myself. It was always something. Then when my issue was time, I had a situation to where I left my job. And when I left my job, part of it, I was bedridden with, sciatica, and it was hard to really kind of do anything. But if I wanted to, I could have at least sat up in the bed to try to, record music or stuff like that. But then as I got better and felt better physically, I still wasn't doing anything. So there's this program I'm a part of to where I get production. And so with the production I had using this music, it would allow me to just focus on mixing and mastering my vocals. If y'all hear a lot of noise and stuff in the background, like I said, this is guerrilla style episode. But so the music being provided already and me just having to focus on my vocals, it made things a lot easier. But with me using this production, I had limited rights to it. So I'm not going to go into detail as far as the contract, but there's limitations as far as like what I can do with this music. So in my mind, I'm kind of like psyching myself out, like, man, what if I make something over one of these beats and it blows up? And and also they're not exclusive. So all the songs that you've heard me do all the beats that you've heard me do songs to, I don't have exclusive rights to them. So someone else can, through this company, use the same beats, and other people probably have. The reason that doesn't bother me, because I feel like it's my own interpretation of that track. I'm sure if somebody else does a song over the beat that I did Master Flow on, it won't sound nothing like that. It'll be something totally different. It might be better than my song, but so that didn't bother me. But the limited use did. I was like, man, especially with Master Flow, I was like, man, what if this song like blows up and all this stuff? And then I told myself, you know what? I said, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Right now, the most important thing is me getting my foot in the door. So I swallowed my pride and I said, you know what? I'm going to rap over these beats. And the first one that I did was The Calm. If you haven't heard that, that's a song that I have available, and it was. If it doesn't sound like a complete song or like your standard average song, is because it was going to be the intro for my mixtape, The Attack of the Red Ranger Volume 1. And so The Calm was actually a test. I told myself, okay, I'm gonna do The Calm, I'm gonna record it, and this is gonna be my opportunity to practice the mixing and mastering and stuff. So I did it, and I was gonna put it out, and I was like, man, maybe I should, I actually am feeling a little more comfortable with getting the hang of this. Maybe I should, go ahead and wait and put the whole mixtape out. So I said that I was going to, but then, I recorded Master Flow and recorded Good Guys and, My Plea, and kept going. But as I kept doing each song, I learned more and more. I learned about the tools that I'm using. There's, for example, on my computer I use GarageBand. And there's also a program called Logic Pro X, which is the big brother of GarageBand. It's like GarageBand on steroids. And so if you want to use a free trial of it, if you try to go to the App Store, it'll make you purchase it. But if you go to Google and search Logic Pro X and actually look up the program, it'll allow you to use a 90-day trial of it. And once you download it, you can use it for that 90 days. And so I did that, and it had all these different features and functions and abilities. I mean, if I was somebody that was well versed and well skilled in this stuff, I probably would have felt like a kid in the candy store. But for me, I don't like having a lot of options. I like to have things as basic and as little options as I can, because the more things I had to pick or choose from, the more indecisive I'm going to be, and the more confused I'm going to be, and the more I'm going to be sitting there with my brain like choosing and picking. Because before I make a decision, I like to really kind of count the costs and think about it. And we're like, my son has this thing where he's always asking me like, hey Dad, what's your favorite dish, or what's your favorite villain or superhero? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like I'm very careful. I'm very moody. So today pizza might be my favorite food. Tomorrow egg foo young might be my favorite food. Now there's certain things where I'm just like, yeah, this holds a pedestal. But as far as me saying like what's definitively my favorite, I have a hard time doing that. So what I did was I scaled back down and went back to using GarageBand, which is, it allows me to, I feel, get a good quality out of my music. And then also, it's easier for me to use. And the better I get with it, I'm starting to master it. And once I hit the ceiling with GarageBand, maybe then I'll look into Logic Pro X, because then at that point I will have learned, about all the other stuff and, what the different features and functions do, But I had somebody reach out to me, a friend of mine. He reached out to me in regards to Who's the Man, and he was just saying how professional it sounded, and the production. Like I said, I didn't do it. The track that was done was phenomenal. But I did I added, there's like part of the hook, there's like all these like gunshots and people screaming, and it just sounds like chaos and war. I added that stuff in there. The effects on my voice, like if you listen to it with headphones on, the main voice is coming to you from both sides, but then on just the left side, I believe, there's like a distorted voice, which is supposed to be like, kind of the evilness of the Mandarin, but yeah, so that's what happened with that. So I feel like I'm growing and I'm progressing. I'm learning about different tools I can use to make my music sound better. There was the intro I did for the podcast. For me, and the intro for the podcast to me, where I'm singing, do you hear the sound? I was able to find some things to help make that sound brighter and crisper, and the quality of it was just like, I was like, I was really happy, man. I found myself listening to it like over and over and over, because it wasn't like a ego vain thing. It was like I was proud of where I had come from, and hearing how good it sounded versus from where I started at, it really encouraged me, especially going in to this Fly Away song, because there's a lot of harmonies that I'm doing on there, and I was concerned that how it sounded in my head, it wouldn't translate onto the record like that. But now I'm feeling a little more like, you know what, it might work out like that. So I'm excited about that. So I say, I've been talking for like 25 minutes, but I say all that to say, don't ever count yourself out because of what you have. Take what you have, learn with it, hit the ceiling with it, maximize your abilities with it, and as you continue to use that tool, you'll create opportunities to where you'll be able to get finances to get other things. For example, like, so say somebody like wants to rap, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't have a computer, I don't have a Mac, I don't have GarageBand, I don't have a microphone. All you got is a phone, right? So you do this. You take your phone and you go sit in your car. Can you rap? If you can rap, that's the ability and the skill that you're trying to demonstrate and show people. You got a camera on there. You turn that camera on, you hit record, and you start busting. If you got bars, if it's fire, if you killing it, ain't nobody gonna care about he ain't got no studio, or the sound is bad. If you got bars, people gonna want to listen to it. I don't know if y'all seen that dude on TikTok. He be walking into the convenience store and like he'll start singing, like he started singing like an Usher song, and then he started to go viral, and he's created and had opportunities. At least I've seen him mention, since doing that, he's done a lot of other videos where he's singing different songs. And all that is him walking into a convenience store with a girl behind the counter filming him singing. That's it. If you can go to Google online, search how to make a blog, how to make a free blog. You follow the steps and you start typing. You start typing your story, what you want to blog about, what you want to talk about. There's all these resources and all these opportunities. There's free things that you can use and do. The only thing holding you back is you. That's it. You're making excuses for yourself. Trust me, because I'm the king of it. Like I said, first it was my computer. I got a new computer. Then it was I didn't have time. Then I had all the time in the world. Then what was my excuse? And I had to sit back and look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, you know what, John? You got to do this. So now that I've kind of gotten as far as I have, I'm learning a lot more. The podcast is something new. It's a different opportunity, a different experience. And I'm really excited about this because it allows me to provide content to where it's not always a song. Like, there's a lot of hard work that goes into writing a song and recording it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm laughing at myself because I stopped and my brain was running wild. But to you guys, I had just stopped talking. I apologize. But yeah, I just really hope that I feel like I'm kind of winding down because I'm kind of like thinking like, okay, I kind of shared my story about, you know, how my journey was as far as content creation. And look, man, I will say this too as well. Start now, because the things that you are discouraged about and the things that you're making excuses about that you feel like are going to be challenges, wait till you actually start. You're gonna face a whole bunch of new challenges. So you might as well go ahead and get the initial challenge of starting out of the way, so you can prepare yourself and embrace the new ones. You know, like when you work hard and bust your butt and nobody wants to listen to it. Nobody clicks the link. Nick, I know you listening to this. Niggas don't click links. Shout out to my man, author Nick Adams. Gonna pick up Xanthia. Xanthia nerd song coming soon. Audio chapter 1 reading on YouTube coming soon as well. But yeah, man, you know, you're gonna get discouraged from people not listening. You know, people, man, I tell y'all this. So Who's the Man is the song that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this nerdcore thing. Shang-Chi comes out. I'm gonna write this song. I'm gonna put it out a week before the movie comes out. It's gonna pick up steam. It's gonna get, people are gonna listen to it. It's gonna blow up. Like, this is my opportunity, right? Man, I put that joke on YouTube. It's got like almost 300. Let me see. So many views it's got. I'm so hood. Okay. So it's got 299 views. 300, almost 300 views, right? But that doesn't matter because the average view duration is 43 seconds. So on average, only 43 seconds, on average, the 299 times that video has been viewed, people have only viewed 43 seconds of it. And it's the beginning of the song where just the beat is playing. So it's like as soon as they hear me rapping, the sins of the gang, yes, who it is I, although while you're here, click, they turn it off. Do you know how that feels? The hard work I put into the thumbnail, the hard work I put into the mixing and the mastering, and people hear it, they're like, nah. Now see, part of that is because part of the way I've been promoting it is been spamming it on Twitter. So any tweet I'd see from the official Shang-Chi Twitter account, or like the actors or people tweeting about it, I'd go up under the tweet in the thread and like, yo, listen to my song, or I'd put the song, and people would probably be like, nah, fam. And I knew with this song I was taking a chance because with the movie being about, you know, Shang-Chi, martial arts, like when I first was saying I'm gonna do a song about this movie, in my mind I already knew like how it should be. But then I was like, you know what? I wanted to be creative. I was like, excuse me. I was like, what if I did a song about the villain of the movie, the Mandarin? Because him and the 10 Rings have been existing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe this whole time. But in Iron Man 3, there was this whole thing of like someone pretending to be him. Trevor Slattery, who was an actor. I think it was Ben Kingsley. And so he was supposed to be the Mandarin, but he wasn't. And then Aldrich Killian, who was the bad guy, was kind of like the Mandarin in a sense. But then Marvel, if you didn't see this, a lot of people, you might not understand some of the references in the song. There's a Marvel one-shot, which were these little mini movies Marvel used to put out. And there's one called All Hail the King, to where it was Trevor Slattery was in prison and a member of the 10 Rings abducted him, and the real Mandarin wanted to see him. And so what it was saying was like, Marvel was acknowledging the outcry. You know, people were mad because they're like, man, y'all wasted this cool, you know, villain and stuff, and you know, made him like a joke. And so what they were saying, like, okay, no, there really is a real Mandarin. Now, I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet, so I don't know if they actually reveal or they have like Slattery run into the real Mandarin. But so in the song, man, like I worked hard on that. Like I'm gonna break down some of the bars. So I said, descendant of Genghis, yes, who it is I. All the while here, none the other wise. Sons in under skies, sons and mothers cry. Run and scutter hide, guns and butter knives. None will cut him try, stunned to run the lie. Flattery but slattery, clearly out of his mind. So this is the real Mandarin that's like rapping this song. So he's saying it was flattering that he would want to be me, but Slattery was clearly out of his mind. We're a stark comparison. Okay, Tony Stark is the Mandarin, is an Iron Man, and like the Mandarin is like Iron Man's Joker, if you will. You know, so I said, sorry, we're a stark comparison. Aldrich part embarrassing. The way that I'm killing him pierced this guy, Farrison. So I said Aldrich Killian, his part that he played in this whole scheme was embarrassing. The way that I'm killing him, Aldrich Killian, killing him, that was kind of a reach. The way that I'm killing him pierced this guy, Farrison. Guy Pearce is the actor that played Aldrich Killian. So I said Aldrich part embarrassing. The way that I'm killing him pierced this guy, Farrison. Take the day off. So when I said Farrison, I meant like the 80s classic movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Farrison, take him out of here. Take the day off. Razor blade soft, gauge the face talk. I ain't gonna go into the rest of that verse, but that explained that. And and then at the end of the song, I said, everlasting, no one is outlasting the Lord of the Rings, all hail to the King. So I was referencing that Marvel one-shot movie, All Hail to the King. And then the Lord of the Rings was the 10 Rings. It's an organization, but then it's also a weapon. So, man, and I could go into more depth in the bars, but think about how that's all the hard work I put into that, and people aren't even getting to that far into the song, and that's something you're gonna experience and go through when you make content and you put it out there for people. Some people aren't gonna like it, you know, and that's okay, you know. Some people aren't even gonna take the time to listen to it. You know, me, there's not much that I do. I watch YouTube videos. Like, that's it, you know, so I don't even listen to music. Like, seriously, only time I would like listen to music is if I'm driving or if something happened. It's like, yo, this Jay-Z and Andre 3000 to the song, and like the internet's going crazy. Like, I'll go grab my phone, my computer, and start listening to it. But I don't really listen to music. And if I do listen to music, it's like 90s hip hop, 2000s, like stuff that I've already heard, nothing new. You know. So I mean, people aren't gonna digest your content and listen to it sometimes, and you know, that's gonna be a hurdle and something challenging that you face too. But you gotta keep pushing. You can't give up, you know, because what you want to focus on is you want to focus on those people that are gonna love your content. That just want to oh man, everything you put out, you know, I want to get, like, you know, like Nipsey Hussle, he had put out an album and sold it for $100, and people stood in like a line, like wrapped around a building to buy that album and have him autograph it. And it was also available online for free. So he's offering an album for free, but he's also selling it for $100, and people are standing in line to buy it. And that, to me, is like phenomenal. I'm looking for that type of support. I only need 1,000 people that are just like ride or die Sound of the Rain fans, like, or supporters. You know, that's it. I'm not necessarily trying to have a million, billion subscribers and all that kind of stuff. If that stuff happens or comes, so be it, man. But if I can just make a little bit of cash doing this, that's what I'm trying to do. Let's see. Where we at? We almost at the 40-minute mark, man. Keep talking. You know what? I might give y'all a preview of I ain't got my phone on. I'm gonna give y'all a preview of something. See if I can just, like I said, I got an hour and 34 minutes to kill. So let me break down some more of these bars for this. Who's the man? Descendant of Genghis, yes, who it is I. All the while here, none the other wise. Sons in under skies, sons and mothers cry. Run and scutter hide, guns and butter knives. None will cut him, try, stunned to run the lie. Flattery but slattery clearly out of his mind. We're a stark comparison, Aldrich part embarrassing. The way that I'm killing him, pierced this guy, Ferris him. Take the day off, razor blade soft, gauge the face talk, page to page, y'all. Made what y'all thought, paved the way off. The train that y'all bought a ticket for, made your way off. Was staged for y'all lost, but made my way sought. The brain embraced thoughts that stain the paved walk. Sustain your brave walk, but anticipate the fall. Who's the man shall now be answered for all. So, in the comics, the Mandarin's a descendant of Genghis Khan. So that first bar, descendant of Genghis, yes, who it is I. All the while here, none the otherwise. So I've been in the background in the shadows. I was in Iron Man 1 all the way up until now. They've just revealed me in the MCU. All the while here, none the otherwise. Sons and under skies, sons and mothers cry. Run and scutter hide, guns and butter knives. None will cut him try. There was nothing deep in that. Just some fun wordplay. It was really fun to write too, because it was like a challenge to try and keep that same sound. Like I had to look up the word scutter. And what does this mean? Run and scutter hide, guns and butter knives. None will cut him try. Stunned to run the lie. So that's talking about the lie that Trevor Slattery and Aldrich Killian were running in Iron Man 3. So I'm gonna skip down. Pierce this guy, Ferris him. Take the day off. Razor blade soft. Talking about himself. Like I'm soft as a razor blade. A razor blade isn't soft at all. Take the day off. Razor blade soft. Gauge the face talk. Like my presence talking to you is as if a shotgun was in your face. So it's gauge the face talk. Page to page, y'all. Made what y'all thought. So y'all continued this story, page to page, y'all. Made what y'all thought. Y'all thought this was the Mandarin, and y'all entertained this lie and continued it. Page to page, y'all. Made what y'all thought. Paved the way off. The train y'all bought a ticket for made your way off. So you paved the way for this lie, and the train that's on the track that you bought a ticket for, that you paid for this to listen to this story and this lie, it's way off. It's far from the truth. So made what y'all thought, paved the way off. The train y'all bought a ticket for made your way off. Was staged for y'all lost, but made my way sought. So it was staged for y'all's L, but it made my way sought, like to where they were seeking me. The brain embraced thoughts that stain the paved walk. Sustain your brave walk, but anticipate the fall. Who's the man shall now be answered for all. And that was kind of self-explanatory. Then the second verse is science and combat, the great recipe. I use 2 hands to create weaponry. On each of those hands, 5 fingers apiece. Into each of those linger one of the 10 rings. The 10 rings is, and you see in the movie, just from what I've seen in the trailer, the 10 rings aren't like actual physical rings on his hands. like there's 5 rings on each arm that he uses as weapons, but in some of the like the old cartoons and the comics and stuff, he actually had like 10 different rings on each hand. So not having seen the movie and having to write the song, I pretty much had creative freedom or liberty to kind of do what I wanted to do. So let's see. To each of those linger one of the 10 rings. At my very control, destiny foretold, legends, myths, hundreds of years old. Like, that just made it sound just majestic, the Genghis Khan reference. And from what I've seen in the trailer and some things that I've read, there might even be some references to things that happened in the past years ago. So that might have been spot on. Clandestine cell system seamlessly ran. I ripped that line straight from Wikipedia. I was a lot of this information I got from Wikipedia looking up. I was familiar with them, but not familiar enough to write no song. So that line, it mentioned that the 10 Rings, the organization, was a cell system, and I can't off the top of my head remember, but it's like it's like the way that it's organized and the way that it's structured. That's what that is. I retained it and I learned it. Let me almost steer y'all wrong. Let's see. Yeah. Anytime I say I'm so hood, I'm talking about how ratchet this recording is. Okay, so clandestine means kept secret or done secretively, especially because it's illicit. So clandestine cell system, a secretly ran organization. And the cell system means that it's like different parts to it that are kind of combined together, like cells in the body, and then they all run together structure. So clandestine cell system, seamlessly ran. Power untold proceeds from each hand. Here I am, devour the ops like banh mi. Banh mi is a Vietnamese sandwich, and it rhymed with Shang-Chi. Matter of fact, when I decided to write this song, before I wrote down any of the words or even decided I was going to write about the Mandarin, I had already decided that I was going to use the word use the words banh mi and Shang-Chi, and I just had to figure out how to put it. So devour the ops. Op is a slang term that originates from Chicago that means opposition. So opponent, so devour the ops like banh mi. The reason for Iron Man, I made Shang-Chi. And so when I say the reason for Iron Man, like the whole way that the 10 Rings was involved in the first Iron Man movie, like, and had Tony captured, like they were the motivation for him to create the first Iron Man suit. So the reason for Iron Man, I made Shang-Chi. In the movie, Shang-Chi is the son of the Mandarin. In the comics, Fu Manchu was, I believe that was his name, was Shang-Chi's father. But Marvel didn't have the rights to that character. And also, there were some disrespectful, kind of trope Asian, like things that they didn't want to do as far as it was kind of, might have been hurtful to Asians. So I believe they were going to like leave that out. So they made the Mandarin his father. And the character's name is Wen Wu. So when I say the reason for Iron Man, I made Shang-Chi. Wen Wu is who the wind runs through. That just sounds like just powerful. Like in the trailer where he's like they're fighting and there's like water everywhere and stuff like that. So Wen Wu is who the wind runs through. Since before his birth, I've trained my son to be an assassin that assassinates assassins. So that was, not having seen the movie, that was something I was able to understand, was that Shang-Chi had been trained since his youth to be an assassin. That was always, something that was that the Mandarin, Wen Wu, his father, had already anticipated what was going to be his life and his destiny. be an assassin that assassinates assassins in any shape, form, or fashion. Everlasting, no one is outlasting. The Lord of the Rings, all hail to the king. Yeah. So that's it. I just wanted to throw that bar break down because I kind of already started. I feel like I've kind of exhausted the topic of the discussion. If you have any questions or concerns or have any questions about anything I had brought up or need any tips, any information about, a DistroKid who I use for my online, my music distribution, or Buzzsprout who I use for my podcast hosting, you can check me out at soundoftheraign@gmail.com. That's soundraign@gmail.com. And, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I appreciate the support. There's more things coming soon. Patreon. If you wanna support financially, I'm not asking or begging, man. It's just sometimes people like to do that type of thing, and so I just want to create the avenue for anyone that would want to. But you can cash at me at $SoundofTheRaign. That's Sound of the Rain at Cash App. And I might have spelled the email wrong, but it's Sound of the Rain, SoundofTheRaign @gmail.com. All right, well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good one, and catch you on the next one. Peace.